Hello, everybody. Okay, I'm just gonna start off. Aw, I don't know how this got in here, but there's a tiny little snail shell that I just found. Oh, this is gonna be difficult to show. But that little thing on my finger is a snail shell. I don't think it's alive. I don't know how it got in my office. It might actually be alive. I'm gonna put it right here in case it is, and then I'll let him outside if he is or she. Um, okay, that was an unexpected twist. Snails. Little itty bitty snail. Okay, I'll keep an eye on that. We're going to just do a quick message. It's been some heavy energy this week. I don't know if you've all been feeling it, but I have. Did I seriously just not have my... Wow, I don't think I had my volume on at all that whole time. You know what? I'm not even going to restart because I want that to be genuine. I found a little 111 on the on the timer. So yeah, that little thing before that you probably didn't hear because I had my volume off. That was a little snail. I'm not sure if he's alive or not, or if it's just a shell. I don't know how it got in here. I just found it on my desk when I was putting my cards, so I'm not sure. Actually, I think it might be because of the eggs. I had brought, so, okay, let me make this a little short. My chicken, one of them, Snot, she most likely was attacked and killed last night. She had set up a nest somewhere, and I couldn't find her for, I mean, it's been two weeks now that I couldn't find her. I saw her come out every once in a while to eat and stuff, so I knew she was alive. um, but she made a nest somewhere and took off and was doing her thing. So I tried to find it several times and I couldn't. And unfortunately, this morning I found it, and oddly in a spot that I had looked before and I didn't see it then. So I'm not really sure what happened, but she wasn't there. It was just eggs, and um, there was feathers, but no blood or anything to indicate that something had happened. So not great start to the morning. I had a weird feeling that something bad had happened. So it is what it is, unfortunately. But I do have some of her eggs here. Some of them weren't viable, so I put them back just in case I was wrong and she's still out there and that was just her feathers. I don't want to, whatever. I didn't want to speculate. But to sum that whole thing up, there was a snail on one of the other eggs. I took some of them in because they were at different stages of incubation. I took some of them in, so I have like 5 of them in here right now. There was like 6 out there before that I had put back in the nest that weren't ready or even close to ready or even started. And now there's only 2. So something came back to get those eggs. Um, so it was actually kind of a weird mess this morning. Not the best start. And that's also to sum up the heaviness of this whole thing. It's been very heavy, very not the greatest energy, I'm not even gonna lie. But this little snail here is so cute. I don't think it's alive because it would have come out by now, I feel like. So I'm just gonna keep this little shell here. Tiny little shell. It's like less than, it might be like a centimeter. Anyway, I'm rambling now. 4 minutes. Let's start this reading. But that's probably some good basis to jump from because it might just be one of those things that it's a heavy week. I'm going to do mostly oracle, and then I'm going to clarify with the tarot. I've got a ton of oracle right now. I have 4 decks of oracle and just one tarot deck. So we're going to go with that. But this feels like for the people in the collective that have been going through a really, really tough couple of days to weeks, two or so weeks, about 2 weeks since the last time I've been on, 444 on the timer when I look up. It's been a rough couple of weeks. It's just energetically been heavy. It's been draining. It's been revealing. There's been a lot to it. past 2 weeks. So I think um, whoever is here, you've been going through it. And literally, as I say that, the card that comes out is it's too much. It's too much. Blah, beep. Overstimulation, panic, mental overload. Absolutely, 100%. Literally what I was saying. Underneath says scrolling instead of healing, numbness, mindless distraction. So we're not taking a direct look at the what source and spirit is trying to show us right now. That's why this scrolling instead of healing is popping up. It's saying that we're bypassing. We know that this is happening, and we're bypassing by numbing out or scrolling or any of those things. And honestly, this actually came up for me about 2 or 3 days ago, but the reading got interrupted, and whenever that happens, I just know it's for me specifically. Needless to say, I'm a human, and it didn't work. That's why I'm here now, doing the reading again, so that source can obviously tell me the same, me as part of the collective, the same message. I'm bypassing as well. So this is not calling anyone out, but myself too. It's too much though. Whatever this energy that's been doing, it's been too much, and there needs to be some healing. Stat. I'm hearing stat. Like as in immediately. Let's take that one. And it says commitment. Commit to the next stage in your development, and there will be a promise fulfilled in some form. I got 2 people on there, so some of you might be back and forth between a relationship or having some sort of relational issue that's causing some sort of delays in it, the development or something like that. Could be connected to commitment of relations, but we'll see when we dive more into this. There we go. And let's get one more. Planning phase. Take a step back and plan the necessary steps to move forward. You may turn your goals into reality. And this one, the source is saying to do the reverse. See what's real. Observe with clarity. True insight lies beyond the surface. So there's something going on beneath the surface that we need to see clearly. Seed of potential. Plant the seed of potential and nurture its sprouting promise with care and intention. So something is trying to be, just in general, is trying to come out, and it's being blocked right now because we're not fully committed to one path. It's saying planning phase. Take a step back and plan the necessary steps to move forward, so you may turn your goals into reality and see what's real. So it's about clearing the way of what is illusory, what is not real. And I'm getting with this overstimulation, it could be a lot of, especially with the scrolling, it could be a lot of like what's going on in the news, interfering with your mindset. But stepping back from all of this stuff, yeah, the Tower coming out on the Oracle. Stepping back from all this stuff is going to be what helps to alleviate this feeling, this overwhelmed feeling, this too much feeling, this burnt out feeling, this feeling of like, oh my God, please just anything for quiet, like trying to shelter. I feel like with this energy that's popping up, it's like somebody cowering in a corner. And I'm not trying to say that as like a bad thing. It just feels like one of those moments when there's so much stuff coming in, it feels like it's like the room's closing in, is what I'm getting from this. Going by the energy coming is the room is closing in, the space is closing in, and source is trying to come through to say it's because we're bypassing, we're continuing the cycle through feeding it. So like, for example, emotions only can manifest or stay if we feed them. They're like an animal or a pet or whatever. If you're madness. Think of your next time, 111 on the time. Next time you're upset, think of your anger or your whatever emotion, sadness, anger, guilt, shame, as a pet. Think of it as a pet. And you're feeding it. You're feeding it every time you think about that thing, you're feeding it and it grows. It stays. It knows that it's welcome when you feed it, is what I'm getting here. So we have to divert and starve the the thing that's causing this feeling, this too much feeling. We have to starve it by not feeding it. So if that is scrolling, doom scrolling, watching the news, just ruminating on what's going on wrong in the world, it's feeding it. It's making it bigger. It's making the nervous system react. It's causing anxiety. It's causing distress in the system. And Source is trying to say, hey, it's getting to a point where it's to a critical point, like a red light is saying stop. It's saying stop right now, so that the overload doesn't uh, stay in your body. We've got the trickster coming out saying, where in your life do you experience self-sabotage or unexpected challenges? What lessons are hidden in these moments? So again, we're talking about self-sabotage here, the doom scrolling, that sort of thing. Dark forest. What fears or uncertainties are you currently facing? What strengths can guide you through them? So again, that commitment to a path, like trying to find the way out, especially with the lost child underneath, it's like you're kind of roaming, um, and Source is trying to call you forward. What part of you feels vulnerable or in need of care? How can you show yourself kindness? Again, with this needing to step back and take a mental break because of the overload, so that you can see clearly what is real and what is illusion. Because right now that it feels like with all of this energy that's showing up, there's a lot of illusion clouding your reality, your story. The Tower. Are you isolating yourself or feeling trapped? What is keeping you in this high place, and how might you climb down? Isolation. If you're feeling a certain type of way like this, and you're doom scrolling and you're staying indoors, it's also going to feed that thing. It's only going to have access to you. You know what I mean? So it's saying get out. How can we get out from this tower we've created, of which the tower representing like our mind, our thoughts? How can we come down from just where our mind is sending us off into a tailspin and come back into our own reality? So this message is very much about coming back into reality, after being floaty a little bit, by things, circumstances, situations, world events, things like that, life in general coming in, and it's causing us a lot of distress in our system. So Source is trying to tell us to take a step back, slow it down, and see where the illusions are driving our anxiety versus what is actually happening in reality. Because right now we're at this point where we're kind of aimlessly walking, but we need to be committed to the path that's set and forward in front of us. Excuse me. So that so that we can get what we came for in a short phrase, like whatever we came here for, whatever you're trying to create in your reality is trying to come through, but it's saying you need to commit to that, to the steps and the planning part of actually having it move forward. And right now there's too much stuff um, um, being averted, like having our eyes averted from. So it's saying pay attention to what is trying to be healed right now, because it's self-sabotaging, causing delay in the progression, and also it's causing a lot of stress, anxiety, nervous system breakdown, which is not good. It's going to actually start to cause physical things in your body. Um, Pay attention to that. Lost Child really says, which is funny because for the first time, I watched Peter. Well, not finished, but I started watching Peter Pan with my son, and this kind of reminds me of that, The Lost Boys. Um, where I got to the middle part, so I'm not full. He started falling asleep. That's why I didn't finish. I'm gonna finish it. It's been what, like 20 something years or no, not even. What did he say? I think it said like 50 plus years, something crazy. Um, that movie's been out, and it's just now I'm watching it. Um, but anyway, uh, it's saying what parts of you feel vulnerable or are in need of care. And when I saw the part that I got up to, that's literally what Peter Pan was all about. He sheltered those children, those boys, um, and he wanted Wendy to be their mother so that they can feel cared for and loved. So even though that they were in a place where they never had to actually grow up and have responsibility, Neverland, um, and they can just be kids forever, vulnerability, being vulnerable, it was still, they still needed that container to hold them, to care for them, to give them some sort of structure. So it feels like that's what's happening here. The unfinished story is the last card from that oracle deck that came out. What part of your life still feels incomplete? What next steps can you take? I think that that is what source is trying to say in general, because right now you already have a commitment that you're trying to create, but all this stuff is basically clouding your next moves toward it. And it's saying right now, right, like it's even with this right here, it's like something's on top of it. Something is clouding it. And honestly, what I see here is this little piece of paper is the same. So it's like, well, my mind's eye is how it's showing it to me. And that represents to me that whatever you're thinking about, whatever you're ruminating about, whatever this tower is representing for you, this isolation, the thing that's causing you to want to isolate, um, the self-sabotaging things or the challenges that have been repeating are what's on top of blocking the story from finishing, the story from continuing on. Excuse me, I have like stuff in my teeth. Excuse me. Um, so yeah, let's see what we get here. It's, I mean, it's literally just sources saying whatever things that you've been doing currently that are feeding this feeling of anxiety, this feeling of overstimulation, of panic, of chaos in your mind, and it's causing delay in a journey that your soul is trying to bring you down. Let's just get one of these. Orchid, Symbiosis, and Dong Quai. Dong Quai? I hope I'm saying that right. Scientific name is Angelica sinensis. Dong Quai. Inflorescence. In botany, the term inflorescence is used to classify plants by the way their flowers are arranged on a stem. Although Dong Quai is traditionally used for its roots, its inflorescence can offer us insight. This flora is defined as a compound umbel. I don't know what that means. As a compound umbel. UMBEL. Compound umbel. I'll have to look that up. Paying attention to minute details. Wait. By virtue of its design, it is complex. Paying attention to its minute details is often consuming and limiting. However, it is, in this case, it offers us wisdom. Like the botanist who study plants, observing and analyzing ourselves is vital to our health. We need to know what needs fixing before we change it. For example, what aspects of your body, your mind, and your spirit do you believe are out of balance? Before you apply a remedy, are you able to pinpoint why? And here's the flower if you want to see the flower as well. That was underneath the deck, so that is the underlying, and that pretty much sums up all of this as well. It's saying there's something about your details, the lost child, something about your details, your personal details that you need to look at so that you can start to sift out what is and what isn't illusion. There's parts of your story that have been placed upon you by society, by parental, by guidance, by just social influence, by influence of any sort, food, substance, scrolling, any of those things, you're being influenced. And it's saying right now, your influence on the world is being interfered with by things outside of yourself. So it's literally saying to, again, clear out the stuff that are blocking your story. Your story is unique and it doesn't have to have these other things on top of it, is what I'm getting from this. But right now, we are, as a collective, basically nullifying, or the word I'm getting is dumbed down. I don't like that word, but that's the word I'm getting. We're dumbing down our own expression, and that's what Source is trying to stop us from doing. We don't need to dumb down our existence. We need to be completely full, no matter how that expression shows up in the world. Orchid. Symbiosis. The concept of symbiosis is never more expansive than when studying the scientific name of orchid, which is Phalaenopsis amabilis. I'm going to try to, I don't want to try that again, but there's the word if you can try yourself. The flora grows on other plants. As a result, it is easy to assume they are exploitative, but they are not. They live harmoniously on their host. Their relationship is neither beneficial or harmful. It is unlike many. In any of the relationships we have, generally are driven to reciprocity, the expectation that giving something results in something in return. What would life be like if we provided kindness to others without expectation? And what of the parasitic relationships we permit in our lives? Would we allow these relationships to continue or seek to find symbiosis with others? Ah, this is making more sense. Because I kept getting drawn to the other pieces in this card. Because I was like, okay, what's the planning phase? I get that, but what's the importance of it? And it's saying specifically who is in your toolkit, like who are the people you're surrounding yourself with. What, I forget like the exact terms, but I believe they say 1, 2, 3 on the timer, 2, 2, 2 on my timer when I see it. You are the sum of the 5 people that you have around you at all times, is I believe like the gist of the phrasing. And this is really coming through strongly as that, like, who are you surrounding yourself with as well, right? Because again, earlier when I picked up this, now that I can, hopefully, I said there might be a relationship involved, and it looks like there is. Multiple, actually. It's saying that there's many relationships involved, and some of them are stealing from your energy. And that's probably also why this is coming up. There's a lot of situations, commitments, and focuses that are outside of the actual one. And we are basically in the time of sifting. I'm seeing a sifter. So sifting out like the things that aren't part of your flour for baking your next existence into reality, right? So it's saying remove the parasitic relationships. That doesn't have to be a person. That can be a job. That can be anything that's stealing your life force. That could be TV. That could be a phone. If it's making you feel a certain type of way, it's stealing your life force, is what I'm seeing. And it's saying to remove those things that are stealing your life force and not giving anything. But at the same time, also realizing what is giving in a good way and what is just stealing. Because some things might not actually give you anything back physically, but they can give you something else, like relationships. They don't actually, I mean, sometimes they do, but they don't actually give you anything physical. When I say, oh, I love this person, I'm not giving them anything. I'm not giving them a gift. I'm giving them an energy. It's still giving, right? Do they have to love me in return? No. And that's just, that is what this is saying. There are certain commitments that we need to be very discerning about. Not because they're not giving or whatever, but we need to be discerning about all of the things coming in right now, because some things are stealing from us. And we need to be very discerning, again, about what is stealing and what is simply just symbiotically, I believe that's how you say it, living with us. like the flower, like the orchid. It lives with the flower, not next to it, not in against it. It's not working against it. So what players, excuse me, big burp. What other players are you with? And are they working with you or against you energetically? And nice. The Lovers popped out immediately. Where are they? The Queen of Cups is underneath. Lovers popped out. Again, this connection. There's some sort of connection that's important. The Four of Wands, and it literally says commit at the bottom. If I can show you. Again, so committing to a relationship. Four of Swords underneath at that. A lot of yellow. So yeah, it looks like right now there are commitments that are struggling because other commitments are clouding it. They're not being able to see the light. They're not being able to move on and move forward because they're stuck. So that seems like a pretty simple solution. It seems like just simply backing away from all the things that are causing overwhelm in general and taking as many times as you can to be with yourself, so that you can clear out what isn't necessary right now and plant the seeds, which actually is great time for it because we're about to come up on a full moon on Friday or Sunday. It might be Sunday. And yeah, I mean, it's a great place to, especially if you were planting seeds already in the new moon, to start to see some of that stuff. So this actually feels like if you're doing the work to start to clear this out, you could start to see some progress by the full moon, based off of what we have energetically. So we have the Lovers, we have the Four of Wands, we have the Five of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and the Three of Pentacles. So something, again, a relationship, a connection is trying to get above the clouds, get above some sort of confusion, some sort of distortion, something that's been over top of it, like a blanket. It's trying to get past that place and get into a place where it's more clear. It's just clear and understandable. It's just clear. And right now, Source is trying to help us, the collective, to move past that. And to make the whole thing very short, it's saying to work on, to move away quickly from the things that are causing upset, causing conflict, challenge in yourself, in your system, again, from the main message. Because once you do, you're going to fast track towards working on the things that you actually want to create. And I'm really getting that it's about adding that little bit of spark. And that's why this process needs to happen, because something about what's clouding is dulling your spark to create this thing, right? It's like everything seems like it's in the dark, like it's just hidden. So I got loosen up on the top here that I wrote down. So it's saying like break the soil. To be able to break through the soil, your seedling, the thing that you're creating, needs to break through the soil, but all this stuff is in the way. So it's like creating that like hard crust of stuff on top. So the visualization that Source is giving to me is that your seedling is right underneath the soil, and you're at the point where it's just a barrier of dirt that has I don't know what they call that, but there's a term for it. When you're planting and stuff like that happens, where it's like too much, like it gets too dry and the top's really hard. The seed can't get through, can't push through. So right now it's saying to clear that by loosening that top layer, and that top layer being the mind is what it's getting drawn to. So there's, again, something happening in the mind. That overstimulation, whatever's causing all that overstimulation, needs to be looked at so that it can be healed and moved forward with. because we're at this place, this phase that we're actually gonna be seeing the sprout, but it has to be able to break through. So what I'm getting from this for all of us in the collective right now is to genuinely just step back, take deep breaths, and any single second you get to process the thoughts that are ruminating, process them instead of trying to um, put something over top of it. No screen scrolling, no smoking, no sweet eating, no drinking is gonna make this thing, excuse me, go away. None of it is gonna help heal this. It's just gonna distract you for a time and cause the cycle to continue. You want the cycle to end? Now's the time. It's saying now is the time, because you've got that red light. Now's the time because we've got this we're at the finish line. That's what this represents for me. We're at the finish line. So now's not the time to allow doom scrolling or our repetitive behaviors stagnate us at this point, literally. Yeah, so I think that's a good place to stop. I'm gonna just take it from there. I think I'm actually gonna come back later. It feels like there's a lot of energy, so it might be multiple different messages, but I'm not gonna make that too. Yeah, I'm not gonna make that too pointed, but maybe you'll see some more later. Again, I've split the deck and got self-love, so please, 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 all of us, take some time for ourselves right now to genuinely sift through these energies and get back to where we were, where our minds feel in control of the situation, instead of having everything just like going and going and going, because it's causing a lot of distress. So I hope that this message helped, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.